podcast one, brought a guest on the show, whatever the case, however I'm going to word that right. We got Michael here, a powerlifter, obviously lifted weight, so we're going to get two different perspectives from experienced lifters and just kind of have a podcast on what we think would best help the fitness industry. So one of the topics we got today is why people aren't doing enough leg training. So essentially, the other day I had a talk with somebody and he was talking about how he was training legs and all he could really tell me was he was doing leg press, hack squat, everything but squatting. But then wanted to talk about how he was on the Smith machine. So I don't know, bro. You want to talk about the Smith machine all day. I mean, you got to get into the real topic of what training legs would look like and what that looks like for the everyday person. All this creative stuff, magazine, bodybuilding 101, like, stop looking at that stuff. Like, that ain't talking about, I don't know about Michael, but me personally, I squat.
It's one of those things where, like,
I squat.
The magazine they got to sell.
Right.
So they have to sell it. And they sell the big dudes with, like, the heavy weight on the back.
Right.
Right.
Hey, that's a topic right there. Fake plays. If you really didn't know about that, that's the topic. It took me a second to really find that out because I didn't want to believe in it. Like, who goes out of their way to use fake plates? But whatever.
You're telling me you have 16 plates on the bar. That shit ain't bending, bro. I want to find that bar. Give me that bar, bro.
What bar stiff at 800? Like, whoa. Makes no sense.
USAPL needs that bar.
Right. Got the real power bar over there. So yeah, fake plates is a real thing. We done talking about that though. So essentially squatting and doing what you would have to do, not carrying over to something that isn't a part of the real thing. A lot of people will talk to me about what they're doing, exercise selection, and that's a whole nother topic in itself. But some of y'all ain't even making the right decisions as far as which exercise to be doing. So before you can talk about programming, look at your goals. If your goals are bodybuilding, if your goals are powerlifting, if your goals are to be the best track athlete you can. I mean, yes, look at your goals, tailor your programming to that. But when you coming up to me talking about I'm trying to break a record, powerlifting, I'm like, all right, what you doing? Just tell me a little gist, Oh, well, first off, I start off with the Smith machine. Like, what? Like,
it's not even me.
It's not even in the meat. It's not even in the meat. Like, you ain't doing the competitive movement. At least a variation, right? Like, week 16, we get it. Like, you could be doing tempo squats, but instead you're using the Smith machine. Like, think about that.
I think the Smith machine, obviously you're taking out the proprioceptive thing of having to know where your joints are, but you're still having to have hip, you're still having to have hip flexion,
right?
Deflection. But the fact that you're being supported, that takes away anything that could go wrong in the sense of overall core stability. So the thing is, like when you see a Muscle and Fitness and like all these magazines, it's not to like you need to squat to be badass. That's not what I'm talking about. It's a sense of the squat requires ultimate stability. It needs to really hit. I mean, having to have the core stability to brace something on your back. It's one of those things where if that's not the priority, your legs are never you're never going to get to the point where you need to be because you're constantly doing things that take that moment on with the joint out of the equation.
So essentially, all we talking about is just core strength once again. I mean, the core strength is as important as anything else because essentially, especially for smaller lifters, y'all wondering how some of these people out here, me, Michael, definitely a witness, or what do I want to say? Definitely like a living testament to that we're definitely people who maximize our body weight to the fullest advantage by leveraging out crazy weights in the deadlift, pull, squat, whatever the case, right? But at the end of the day, your core strength is that much more important than how strong your legs are. I mean, it's one thing to look at somebody who's 230 with all this quad size going on, and they're squatting 500. It's like, yeah, their quads are probably doing the work. Then you got somebody like me. It's like, yeah, my quads weren't genetically gifted to be Thor Bjornsson, so I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here with the twigs out here trying to make what I can happen. So at the end of the day, I have to really rely on the intra-abdominal pressure, breathing, bracing, learning the setup, taking the. I didn't even talk about the weight. Let's not even talk about the weight. Let's talk about how you unrack. Y'all out here unracking bar halfway down your spine. Good morning out the rack. Who we representing? Country hold the flag. Unracking, bro. Oh, bro. I said, y'all don't even know how to unrack out here. I mean, I wish I was just being funny, but it's real. It's real. I mean, I wish I was talking to the experienced lifters only, and we could get to the real solutions. But since this first podcast, just want to introduce you guys, get a little warm up, and then see how we feel about different things, different issues, different topics in the fitness industry, and that's one of them. One of them being, people have this sense of, okay, well, I'm gonna come in and I know what I'm talking about after 3 days. Like, when, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't reading the ebook on how to work out and get buff, get swole, get strong, in a week, like 3 weeks. Like, that's not happening. Like, I don't know, and this is a whole nother topic, but if you want the fast lane, then just be real with yourself and take steroids. I mean, if you have a just cause, whatever, I'm not judging. Just do what you want to do. But if you want the fast lane, that's the truth to the fast lane. There's no, if you're drug free, I don't see how it doesn't take a minute. I mean, unless you know a way. Yeah. Unless Michael know a way, then he can tell me and we can have this talk right now.
Fast track.
Like, ain't nobody got an answer for that mess, you know what I'm saying? Fast track, you know what I'm saying? Like, that book, if I was going to believe a book that was talking about the fast track to getting as strong as you could, if it ain't minimum 500 pages, then I really don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you, because that's what it would take. It would take that amount of work essentially over time to get to where you're going. And this ain't a short route, man. And I mean, drug free, it keeps you into perspective and humbles you, honestly. I mean, not everybody's Conan out there. You can't be. You can train to a point, but even so, I mean, I can let Michael speak on this, as far as peaking, off season, in season, cycling, getting ready for me. I don't know about you, but you give me your thoughts about as far as staying strong 24/7, and if that's even real or possible.
Yeah, I mean, so strength is enormous to it. Yeah. That's why you have these guys like 130, 140 squatting. These aren't big guys, but they're very efficient with the muscle. So the key is for me, I could go up to 220, but I don't think I maximized the muscle that I already had. Right. So for 198, I'm a bigger 198, but I still think that I can maximize the muscle that I already have. So it's one of those things where I think staying relatively, so your peak strength is different than like just being strong 20%.
Right.
So
right, of course.
There's a point where you need to drive up fatigue to be able to give yourself some rest to really show out at a certain point. And then it's just if you're training 5-6 days a week, you're kind of always running on 80, 85.
Yeah, you can only hit so much of your ceiling.
Right. But the point there, if you're training, to me, if I look at someone training 5 to 6 days a week, I don't think strength is involved. Yeah. It can't be. Yeah. It can't be. You got sleep in your eyes, you got eye crust and shit. Coming to the gym.
You talking about, most of my 6 days, but I gotta max out. Hey, bro, why don't you think about that for a second, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, I got people all the time who want to say something stupid, but that's a good point. And the real takeaway here is that there's a time and place. And essentially, we see people all the time wanting to get there in point A to point B. But a great topic that he brought up was the strength training frequency that you would have to a real strength program. I mean, yes, there's all kinds of programs, all kinds of variations, all kinds of frequencies. I'm not going to tell you the one-all, be-all, end-all, right? But I do believe, and I will back up, that if you really want to make successful strength goals. I mean, 3 to 4 times a week, and even that fourth day, whether that's the second day, third day, the optional day, I would say, is more so you just, if you've adapted to that kind of work capacity, if you're an advanced lifter, or maybe not even advanced, because advanced, if you're using weights that kind of break you down a lot more, me, if I'm lifting heavier weights, and I'm lifting whatever, I'm this body weight, lifting over this much weight, I can only do that so often. I don't have the mass to move that kind of weight frequently. So a heavyweight hitting heavier weights only makes sense, but it's not breaking him down essentially like that. He has more mass to handle and recover that much quicker. I only have so much muscle that when I do use it to its fullest extent, then I have to take so many days off or not necessarily go heavy again because I don't have it in me like that. I only have so much muscle to recover and then use again. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, strength training really, let me slow down and say that right now I'm getting ready for a competition. I'm 7 weeks out. So essentially I have 3 days that I have to complete no matter what, right? If I do come in for an active rest day or an optional day, then I do something super low volume, work up to a max, maybe daily max. I might do an assistance work, some hip thrust, glute bridge, whatever, walk out. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, yeah, bro, I'm on a true strength training program and I got 5-6 days out the week. So what? You got 65% all week, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless it's the hypertrophy phase, when you gonna get serious? And don't tell me you serious. Oh yeah, I max out every workout session. Like, what you mean? If you natural, that's even more of a topic. You know what I mean? If you natural, that's even more of a topic. Like, you're not hitting your 90% all the time. That's not happening. No.
The whole point to training 3 to 4 days a week, you're trying to prioritize your strength. You're not going to de-train yourself when you're training 3 to 4 days a week. Right. Because we talked about this before, but you can do 20, 25 sets in a session. If your frequency, and again, everyone's different, but if your frequency, say the lower body is 1 to 2 days a week, it's fine. Right. But if you're doing 3-4 days a week, you're hitting 20 working sets, you're going to move like Rumpel Stills.
Always want to talk about bad knees, bad hips, bad back. Oh, bro, I squatted, but squats are bad for the knees.
Squats are bad for the knees because I do 286 working sets a week of squats.
So after that moment, after my knees got blown out, I decided that squats were bad for me. Not that I had surgery and all that. I ain't gonna say none of that. Like, why did you have the surgery? Oh yeah, I squatted 300 sets in a week, no problem.
It's gonna take time to find your max recoverable volume for whatever you're doing. So you have to find out, but you're always gonna have to be doing. So like cycle to cycle, the training cycle, you're gonna get stronger. You're definitely not gonna get weaker. If you're using progressive overload to be able, let's say you're going into a meet, you're only going to have to do more to be able to hit it. Right. People forget that.
Right.
You can't go back and do less than what you did to do for the meet.
Hey, that's a real thing you're talking about. Like, seriously.
You're not just going to go heavy all the time. Right. But you're going to have to, build up that volume, drive up that fatigue, let yourself recover, right? Let your body compensate, whatever, and then drive it up again, let it go down, drive it up again. You can't just go balls and balls. No one does that. I don't care if you're using something or not. Right. The body's only going to be able to handle so much at a certain time. So the point is to be able to find that out. Right. So accumulate that volume and up that intensity, and then find out, okay, this is what I'm made of for this week. On purpose. Pretty much. Let yourself
pretty much, right.
But you can't do that.
Right. Like, have a test week, essentially.
Right.
See what you're made of. Go all out. You know what I'm saying? And if 5 days, I'll put that challenge out to 5 days. The 6 days, 7 days would just kill you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a beginner, just chill out on that. If you're a beginner, maybe even intermediate, don't think about no 6-7 days a week. Like, you need a rest day. You don't even get stronger when you're working out. Like, y'all should know that. Your breaking. You know, like
it's it. Like I think guys like forget that. So
right, skip overweight. He just said right there, he ain't in my lane no more. Like all I do is go to the gym, bro. What you mean? Protein intake as we working out, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Like what you're doing. So I think people forget, and it's easy to forget that you're training. That is catabolic.
Right.
All you are doing is breaking yourself down. So what are you doing the rest of the time? What's your water like? What's your food like? What's your sleep?
Hey, no. Hey, stop right there. We don't want to get into that.
Right.
We don't want to. We don't want to start. We don't want to start bringing up people's McDonald's at 8 in the morning. Like, all right. Oh no, I mean, like, bro, why you looking at the binoculars to find out, bro? Like, bro, you know what happened, bro. Well, I gotta come up to people with the magnifying glasses, like, bro, you ain't gonna look at that cheeseburger you had last night right there. Like, you just gonna skip. So
it doesn't take me but 2 seconds to find out where you fucked up. Like, it doesn't. Give me 5 seconds of talking to you, and I'll tell you.
Right.
Open your mouth.
Right. I'll tell you. Right. Oh yeah. According to page 83, let alone all other 82 pages. Right. You obviously didn't understand. So, you know, people they really crack you up with what they have to say as far as all their approaches and 8 ways to Sunday of how they're trying to get there. And it's like, what made you think that was one of the routes? Like, you didn't seek no help, you didn't ask nobody, you didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's the thing. If you have a coach, and your coach is speaking in absolutes, and if your coach, if you ask your coach something, and he or she doesn't say it depends, fire. I don't know why you would think it. It literally depends on your. So, and this goes. Man, we could be here for 7 hours talking about this. But it could be, if your coach isn't giving you a needs analysis, if they're not asking you about your health history, what you've done, if they don't know what you've done, I don't know how they can even tell you what to do. If you don't know what this person, if I'm coaching you and I don't know what you've done, I don't know what you like to do, I don't know what has worked for you,
what
hasn't worked for you, you know what, I don't even want payment in food. Don't even pay me at all. Matter of fact, lose my number. Because I'm not shit.
Right.
I got that from a book of ain't shit. How to not be shit. So.
Right. So I'm over here looking like, how do people come off with all this? My coach this, that, this, and it's like, all right, well, what did they say about, you know, your lower back issues? You know what I'm saying? Like, some people even start there. You know, what did your coach say about your lower back issues? Did they start you off, you know, with some band work? Did they get your mobility? Did they assess your movement? Did they go from there and then have protocols pertaining to your weaknesses in your movement? Because essentially, once again, we have a whole conversation on movement, bro. The quality of movement. If I'm a personal trainer, I'm really going to look at how you move first. Like, literally, all 6 fundamental ways of movement: lunge, squat, bend, twist, push, throw, or something like that. But obviously, you want to look up those 6 fundamental ways of movement. Then you're going to look at a person and say, hey, let's have you do a lunge and see how you move. If this person wobbling out on one lunge, you know what I'm saying? Like can't keep their knees stable to save life, you know what I mean? Look like the knee socket going left, they trying to go right, you know? Like, we need to start off on some ABC kind of kindergarten exercise. We can't just hop these dudes. Right? I wouldn't even take somebody right into barbell squats. I mean, I maybe, but if they're doing all that, we can't even begin to do that. We might need to hit the kettlebell goblet squats. We might need to do step-ups. We might need body weight step-ups. We might need to, you know what I'm saying, work a little bit of machine work to build up some of the musculature so it can first off be activated and even knowing that it's there. I mean, we're talking about, if you can't really do a lunge, bro, like, you know what I'm saying, your stuff is so deactivated that you've lost tune, you've lost sense, like you're not even connected with yourself essentially anymore, because now your body is doing what it takes, whether it's relying on different muscles to compensate, or it's relying on pure skeletal system to just function. I'm talking about really just functioning. Like people already just functioning by walking in their everyday life, by waddling. Like people like waddling. I'm like, whoa. First off, get your back straight.
Get your feet up.
Get your feet forward, bro.
Yeah, skate,
bro, skate on. I said, nah, bro. We can't even begin to talk about squat if you skate the walk, bro. You know what I'm saying? You skate the walk, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. Let's bring it back. We ain't getting my man's on no squats right now. Like, let's get into the topic. Like, you need help, and you need help in a way that first we have to assess. Okay, what's your flexibility like? I mean, can you even touch your toes? You know what I'm saying? These are questions that people don't always ask. But to relay it all the way back, if you're an advanced athlete or if you're an athlete that has a common ground, has a bit of foundation, understands the game, and you go to your coach and they're not necessarily prescribing anything to help your weaknesses, establish you, bring you up, set you up in a way that allows you to grow. If your workouts aren't pertaining towards growth in some manner, and I mean the mature coach would have a sense of if they cannot do what they're doing or what I'm asking them to, then I need to assess what alternative may be best, or is this person just being weak? Honestly, you got people out there that just look at the program and don't even want no part of it. They over here already like, Coach, I don't know about tens.
They just look at it, bro.
I don't know about tens. I'm like, what is so what you here for? So what you here for? Like, it's one thing if your goals are health. Once again, let's relay this to the common crowd we're trying to reach out. We're trying to reach out to the strength athletes, to the power lifters, to some weightlifters, to strongmen. I mean, if your sport requires mass strength or exceptional levels of strength, then these podcasts, these talks, these conversations, these topics we will be going over will definitely be pertaining towards you. But for the everyday man, hey, you know, we're still here. We're still helping you out. These are things, I mean, the things we're spilling out to you, knowledge bombs-wise, the exercise selection, what you choose to do and how you program, and how you view what you're doing as something that's helping you in the long run, and how you can take that long approach and not have to rush yourself. That's where I think people get so twisted. They can't help but just short term their journey, and then say I have to be here at this moment. Like, why you coming, bro? Why you coming at me talking about I got 3 months to the wedding? Like, bro, yeah, like, bro. What am I? Like, bro, oh, so you want abs? Yeah, bro, I need abs, bro. How you been eating? I mean, cheeseburgers every night, but, you know, I'm ready right now. Like, bro, listen, bro.
Like, hey, man, I'm going to Florida in about 2 weeks, man. I'd like to lose, 8% body fat. I'm like, all right, man, we can do that. Okay, check it out. We'll lock you in this room. Not going to eat for the next 2 weeks. That's how we're going to get there.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Right, bro. Hey, bro.
And the thing is like, so the people that aren't serious people, the general population is, like when I was personal training, a lot of my clients came to me, like, hey, I got a vacation in about 5 months. 5 months that, we can get somewhere.
We can get somewhere, yeah.
I may not be able to get you
major
to where you want, visually where you see yourself, but you have to realize that this is a life thing. The vacation isn't the end all be all. If it is, then we need to fix that thinking.
Right, you're in it for the wrong reason.
Yeah, so,
right.
Because I see it time and time again that people get to their goal. My mom, for instance, she got to her weight goal. She was slim for life. They get you to a point where I don't necessarily agree with all the diet strategies.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think there was some medium.
This is like they start you out with only eating meat, like flush you out or something.
Right.
I'll tell you what, ain't nothing getting flushed out if I'm using I'm only eating meat, bro. I'm gonna be on the toilet for the whole day.
Right.
Right.
No, but meat, bro. It solidifies in your digestive system.
And it's
it's coming out. Yeah, you on the toilet all day.
Because
your body can only absorb so much protein.
You better clear your whole schedule.
Right. Body can only absorb so much protein. Dude, come at me talking about I eat 6 steaks in a day. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, eat 2 steaks. I'm sure you'd be all right on protein, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the protein intake. I watched an interview with Jay Cutler. There was times he was only eating 185 grams of protein, but he was also eating like 600 to 700 grams of carbs. So people forget that like carbs spare protein.
Yeah.
If you're eating a lot of carbs, you don't have to eat as much protein because your muscle glycogen is pretty much always in the form. So amino acids would be cheaply converted into carbs if you're on keto. If you're not on keto, like if you're not in ketosis yet, you're going to be supplying that glycogen for a little bit with your protein intake until you get to ketosis. You're not having carbs for like weeks on end. But, you know, if you're eating carbs throughout the day, if you're eating 400 or 500 grams of carbs, you really don't need to eat that much protein. Body weight max.
Yeah.
You got these guys who eat 400 grams of protein. Yeah, they look like they got stage 3 cancer. What are you coming to me? You look like you got stage 5 cancer. You're eating 400 grams of protein. I barely hit my body weight.
Right.
What are you talking about? You're still
right.
136 pounds.
Man, veined out, looking like he out the farmhouse himself, bro. Hey, bro, chill out on the whole milk, bro. It ain't that deep, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, they over here talking about I need HGH and whole milk. Like, hey, bro. It can't be that real, bro.
I don't even start.
Yeah, bro. You need to eat for strength. Bottom line, you need to eat for strength.
You have to eat. So my main concerns, like when people ask me, how do you track? I'm 24.
Intuitive eating.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
won't lie genetics, but you know, hey, I'll be real with you.
Right.
I'll still eat that biscuits, you know what I'm saying? I'll still kill that biscuits at 11 at night, but that's just me, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'll be putting a lot of work in. I'll put a lot of work in. So, but hey, Bob, hey, don't let Bob can't eat, like, even Chipotle, bro. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing some people like, hey, listen, Susie, can't be eating Chipotle. Like, I know they say it's healthy, but for you know what I'm saying? Like, you still shouldn't be eating that necessarily. You should still be at home cooking your meals, making sure you're getting what you need to be getting. You know, if you're in that kind of a deficit or that kind of an extreme situation,
if you're that new,
right? If you're that new,
or if you're that in
an extreme situation, you need to take some, measurable protocols that are reasonable.
Right. Like the thing is if you're new, let's be honest, you're not going to track it because you don't have the willpower to track it. You're not going to go out and track what you eat. Right. You didn't do that before. Right. You did it when you were having 3 Big Macs. I guarantee you, your ass didn't track it. So, because you don't want to know those numbers. I don't want to know those numbers, bro. You said you want to know those. It should be illegal to have that. I mean, 6,000 calories in one sitting.
Like, bro, dead serious. Like, they should be at McDonald's. I should be the cashier. Like, y'all need 3 Big Macs. No, you don't.
They don't.
I
don't even need to know what you look like to know you don't need. You could be a super heavyweight.
Right. You still need 3 Big Macs.
What you need is, get you a 10, 12-ounce steak. Right. Get you a shit ton of white rice or something like that. Get you some potatoes.
Hey! First off, my man's ain't a nutritionist, all right? But this is food pyramid. You know what I'm saying? What we can rely on, what we can give you in a simple, quick 5-second summary. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't rocket science to how to build or how to lose. But at the end of the day, if you're one of those people who are really antsy about how you eat, what you eat, if you really are like, I want tasty meals, I can't eat the same thing all the time. Like, all right. But if you one of those, I ain't got the money, Rocky 3, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? At times it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You over here, you already barely got the toilet running. You know what I'm saying? Like,
when you're in there punching the meat, you gotta eat it later, bro.
When you gotta tenderize the meat yourself,
you lost your punching bag, now you gotta eat it.
Like, listen, bro, my man's just giving you the 101 map to how to keep it simple, you know what I'm saying? You on a budget? All right, you know what I'm saying?
If you're on a budget, if you're on a budget, then you have to go for things that are nutrient dense.
Right.
Nutrient dense.
Keyword.
You cannot afford to eat McDonald's. Yes,
right.
McDonald's will give you fats, proteins, carbs.
Right. But not
shit for nutrients, bro.
Your muscle is not absorbing that, basically.
Like you're just not getting much. Like you're getting calories, but you're not.
Right.
Like I think people forget everything needs vitamins and minerals. Everything is made up of vitamins and minerals. If you're not taking those things in, you're not taking sodium, potassium in. You're just drinking water. You're flushing everything out. No wonder you're cramping up. On the flip side, you're eating 18 grams of sodium a day, bro, and you're having a sip of water.
Yeah, bro.
Your kidneys are like, what?
But people don't really get that. They really don't get that because we sit here laughing about this. But once again, we trying to reach out to everybody. I mean, we're going to have later podcasts pertaining to certain crowds. We're going to have the roastathon on CrossFit.
CrossFit.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna have our ups and downs with weightlifting and powerlifting. You know what I'm saying? Our ups and downs in both sports. And we're going to have, our everyday weekend warriors, you know what I'm saying?
And then we'll also, reflect back on where we started.
Or where we started.
Because at one point, I'm still not shit, but at one point, I was even less. I was more not shit.
Right. I mean, we got people you look up to, man. So at the end of the day, man, there's people to do it. Ronnie Coleman set the pavement, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was on steroids, but I still respect hard work when I see it. And I notice it. So this man was out here, lunging 405, 315 in the parking lot, going for the football field. Like, who is teaching that?
Well, that's
you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. Back when like Ronnie Coleman was doing that, man, you really think Ronnie cared about science, bro? You really think he cared what the book said at the time? No, he was just getting after it. If it wasn't hard enough, he was going on. Now the man has 2 hips that aren't his anymore. the man has had 2 hip replacements. Hindsight's always 20/20.
Hey, bro.
Maybe I shouldn't have done 315 lunges. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have done a 2,000-pound leg press. Looking back on it, I shouldn't have done that.
You know what I'm saying?
But then I might not have won 8 Olympians.
Exactly. Sacrifice to set yourself up. And, a whole other topic, but ligament tendon strength, staying and keeping up with the muscle, and then being able to hit certain numbers over time, maybe your body can do that at that time, like these peak athletes on their peak in steroids. But as they age or as they maybe lower the dosage or when they run into injury frequently. I mean, we can get into a whole other topic, but the statistics on drug-free lifters injuring themselves and steroid, or people who are on gear and the injury risk to them and how they, and how that equals out, you'd be surprised. I mean, drug-free lifters, as far as, not being dumb about technique and form, everything considered, all things equal, you would see much more injuries in the geared lifters than you will the drug-free lifters. Right. And that's only just due to the fact that you build up in your body toward this hairstyle. One is getting built up slowly, being readily always capable of moving on to the next level. And the other, obviously we have the greats out there that make it work, but you can't deny that if you go and listen to some of their stories, there's a lot of injuries on the way. Yes, they recover fast from injury, but it's also still back to the gear. So with that, they can sustain but also recover from. But what they still denominator go through is the injuries. Me, drug-free lifters, it's like I have kinks, I have aches, I have pains. Right. And I try to tackle them at that moment. Hey, listen, if I have to take my squat back. If I have to dial back because form, movement, something isn't clicking right, then I will. And I will assess movement first and then go from there and try to build my strength or build upon my strength. But balancing my body is always priority. Balancing whatever muscle I'm using to activate in that squat pattern. So, quads, glutes out the hole, quads in the middle, glutes, hamstrings at the end, lower back to lock out. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Activating essentially the right muscles at the right time will have a more overall efficient squat. Me breaking it down in that way allows me to see where am I messing up and then go back into the lab and reassess what I have to do, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's one of those things that you have to look at and assess for yourself, analyze, or get a coach, whoever, but have somebody build you up in the right way, the right scheme, and not having an ego about it. I mean, yes, I lift a lot of weight, but there's been times where I've taken the time to study weight. I'm getting stronger, but I feel like I'm also straining every time I go to work or every time I do a workout. Like, what's going on here? Should I be feeling this much pain? Should I be this sore? Am I even sore anymore? Am I dealing with something that's like bruised joint, skeletal, anything that's like, man, my spine really feels off, or my hips feel like they over here, my spine over here. And, he said people don't want to stop. They be like, I eat Nels no milk for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Gotta tough it out, like, all right, bro. Like, but if you're smart and if you're a committed athlete, I think the biggest thing to always take away, one of the best things I like to commend myself for, I don't know about everybody else, I've stayed injury free for a lot of my lifting career. Out of all the things that I can give myself accomplishments for and really say, like, man, what do I feel proud about myself for? I don't really get injured. And that's a great thing to say. Because how often I run into somebody, setback this in my high school days, in my heyday, injury took me out. Like, hey, you the use.
I used to.
Yeah.
You should
right. Ain't even got a documentary. Ain't even got one clip. One clip. Just a 5-second clip about what happened. You know what I'm saying? Where you at now and what happened then? You got a 5-second clip. Like, dang, man. At least have a picture.
Right.
At least have a picture. I just want to see a picture of 500 on your back. I just want to see a picture. Walked out. You know what I'm saying? Unracked. Hey, if you parallel with it, that's even better. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't care if you fell afterwards,
But at least show me some kind of just documentation.
The thing, like the last thing that I would say with all this is like hardcore. To me, hardcore is not going to failure on every set. To me, that's stupidity.
Yeah.
To me, what I find hardcore, I'm impressed by somebody is that they've been doing something for 5 to 10 years, maybe even upwards of 15, 20 years, and they've stayed relatively injury-free because they're smart enough. And let's say they're doing something that they did at 20, they're still doing it. That's hardcore to me. Because this dude paid attention to his recovery. He paid attention to everything. His training, his recovery. He trained sub-max.
Right.
And he ramped things up at the right time. To me, hardcore is not going balls to the wall all the time.
I don't know who that is.
Never last.
I'm ready to see the dude in all black with all tattoos tatted out. I ain't judging nobody. He may be chill too, but people who've been in the gym for a while, you can tell when somebody coming in hot hair. You know what I'm saying? I dye my hair because I think I'm Tony Hawk. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the Tony Hawk of it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So I'm waiting for dude to come in there. Ready to blow his back out. Yeah, I got 10 sets of 10 on deadlifts today. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if you're doing 10 by 10 at like 80%, you're not gonna last till 25. Like, if you're 20 years old, good luck.
Good luck, bro. Hey, bro. Hey. Can I shake hands with you back real quick? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to say goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, come on. So,
and then because when I look at those guys, what are you gonna do next? Right. You can't go up from there. I don't know anybody doing that. And that's the thing, man. Like, so many people are worried about that didn't feel heavy. Like if you're doing 2 sets of 10, in the next week, you're going to do 3 sets of 10. You're going to go up 10 pounds.
Right.
Because that's what you plan.
Right.
And then the next week, you're going to do 4 sets of 10. Right. You're still going to go up 10 more pounds. And then you're going to find that 10 rep max. And it's going to take a few sets, a few 10 sets to find, to find that 10 rep max.
Right.
If you do that starting off, the fuck you going to go from there?
Right. You at least have numbers to base off of. You at least have percentage. You at least have a scope. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're so advanced, unless you want some Dan Green, you know what I'm saying? I just feel it. You know what I'm saying? Then I don't want to hear it. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I just kind of do it all in my head. Like, bro, wait a minute. You ain't lifting nothing but paper, and you talking about I'm still doing it in my head.
That's why.
That's why you lift in paper. That's why you still lift in paper. Like, how about you pick up the paper, pencil and paper, and start journaling and finding out, okay, let me get percentages on it. Let me put some weeks out on it. Let me give myself a time frame. Let me see where I'm at now, and then give myself an end goal, realistic end goal at that.
Let me actually use progressive overload. Let me do something.
Right.
Like, this is one of those things, like, you see it all the time. Like, you literally see it all the time. You see guys going balls to the wall all the time. And when you ask them, what are you going to do next week? Oh, I think.
Hey, bro.
Right. Like, oh, no. Yeah. I should be able to look at your program and say, okay, this is week 10.
Right.
This is what week 15 looks like.
Right.
There is no think. What do you mean? Think. I think. No. This is what I'm doing today. This is what sets me up for next week.
Right.
If nothing is setting you up for the preceding weeks, fuck. You know what?
Like, listen, bro.
It's been
like
40 minutes. It's almost 45 minutes, dude. I'm about to start sweating.
Like, listen, bro. To top it all off, it's like you're talking about dude coming talking about, oh, well, I think, and it's like, listen, bro. No one's even telling you to have a perfect program.
Every program is going to work to it.
If you have to divert here, there. If you don't hit a rep here, if you felt like you couldn't get the weight poundage that was prescribed for the day and you had to go 15 pounds off, that's fine. But at least we know where you aiming. What's the expectation? At least we have ballpark. We got people talking about, I think I'm gonna go left field. Hey, bro, you shortstop, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, like, I thought we was at A and you talking about Z right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just have a layout. That's all we asking for. All we asking for is a blueprint. I mean, essentially, if you believe in it, it'll work. Psychologically, we can get into the science and the topics of all that. Articles about believing in what you're training and that panning out in more result in more gains than just going through the motion. Someone's prescribing, you don't have the passion, you don't like what you're doing. There is more gains out of the physiological responsiveness to you wanting to be there or wanting to achieve what you want or set out to do. To be there just to be there, I mean, we may be talking minuscule, numbers here, like whether you get 10 pounds or not more that day, but it'll add up. You know what I'm saying? 365 days out the year, you did 10 pounds more each and every time, it adds up. So having that real care about what you're doing, or having a coach, even though the coach may know what they're talking about, and you're disagreeing, communicate. I'm not saying you guys already don't, and if your coach isn't, working with you, then get another coach maybe. But I'm sure most coaches hope, we hope. Ain't every coach out there. So ain't every coach out there. But anyway, personal trainer, whatever. Hopefully they are really listening to you, working with you, finding out your goals, and then establishing what they want to see out of you from their perspective and their goals for you. At least that way, you guys are both on the same page. You know what I mean? You're getting to an established focal point and having two paths be on the same track. at least you guys are both working with one another. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody just out here telling you what to do. I mean, and then sometimes that works for people too. Some people just want to walk in the gym, they don't want to know. They don't care. They just tell me what to do and I'm gonna do it. They don't even want to know the number on the bar. Coach, put the weight on and I'll do it. That, like, you got robotic dudes out there like that, you know. And if that's what works for you, that's what works for you. All I'm saying is for some of the people out there who are like, man, I don't know about this coach, I don't know about this program, I don't know about this online training, I don't know about this online program I just sought after. Whether you take anything or not, always have an appreciation towards what makes it fun for you, and then try to include how it can be fun for you. And if your coach understands that, I'm sure they can also accommodate or work alongside you. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, man, you know, that's what we got for you. Like, comment, subscribe. Give me what you want to know. Tell me some questions you guys want to hear about, some topics you want to see me and my homies talk about. We will be doing more of these podcasts, even vlogging to an extent. So I'll try to get these out weekly to you and do something along the lines of something fitness related or life topics. You know, throw it is whatever you're thinking my way. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, like the video, give me some questions, you know, you guys want to hear. Peace out.